Hi, Pastor Ralph with you again. Yesterday was Palm Sunday. I'm doing this on a Monday, but this is going to be technically a Sunday reflection, and it follows quickly on the heels of Jesus coming to Jerusalem. And he goes into the temple and he clears things out. My thoughts about this, if I were to title a talk, it'd be something like, whose house is this anyway? So when Jesus entered the temple courts, he began to drive out those who were selling. It is written, he said to them, my house will be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers. So it's a very short little 2 verses, but it's very significant in terms of what Jesus is getting at. Whose house is it anyway? At the time, the Pharisees might have said, well, yes, this is the house of God, but we're in charge of it, we manage it, and it's like religious leaders in lots of places and cathedrals and so forth. If you were to go into the place at some level, you would look up to the priests and others who were serving, and for some, there's this strong sense of the presence of the people and who they are and how they are. And Jesus makes a reference when he's referring to the house of prayer to a prophecy from Isaiah that was referring to outsiders who were welcome to become insiders in this return to Jerusalem and a restoration of the temple. From Isaiah 56, where this comes from. Let no foreigner who is bound to the Lord say, the Lord will surely exclude me from his people. And let no eunuch complain, I am only a dry tree. For this is what the Lord says, to the eunuchs who keep Sabbaths, who choose what pleases me and hold fast to my covenant, to them I will give within my temple and its walls a memorial and a name better than sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that will endure forever. And foreigners who bind themselves to the Lord to minister him, to love the name of the Lord and to be his servants, all who keep the Sabbath without desecrating it and who hold fast to my covenant, these I will bring to my holy mountain and give them joy in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and sacrifices will be accepted on my altar, for my house will be called a house of prayer for all nations. The sovereign Lord declares, he who gathers the exiles of Israel, I will gather still others to them besides those already gathered. I will bring in others. I will bring in the nations. I will bring in other peoples. You know, when we look at words that we'd like to be true in our time, we can be very selective. What would I like to have be true? And no question the Pharisees didn't want this to be the kind of prophecy spoken over the temple, primarily for outsiders, because outsiders were in Jerusalem. They were Romans, they were other people, and they were not welcome, they were not loved. They were despised, hated, endured, put up with. But if you'd asked a Pharisee on any given Sabbath, do you wish they'd be in here? They'd probably have said, we wish they were completely out of our land, out of God's land, out of the promised land, out of God's temple, out of our temple. And the challenge for those Pharisees, along with others in the people, which is the other piece addressed in the prophecy that Jesus quotes, has to do with becoming a den of robbers. And there it's about Judah, and Judah engaging in practices of murder and adultery and a host of wrongs and false worship, worshiping the Baal and so forth. All of these kinds of things happening, and people coming into the temple to say, we're safe. We're safe to be here. So I think I'm going to offer a couple more comments for the Monday message on this, because I've been looking at the temple that Jesus was cleansing, that Jesus was, in a sense, rededicating. What kind of temple is this to be? It's not a temple I want to destroy, and I don't want to destroy this practices. I want to fulfill this. Can this temple be for all people? So I'll say farewell, and I'll say hello again soon. God bless you.